Well, guys, thanks for joining me. This is your host, ID Jester. I hate to put out another video so soon, but there's been some major changes to the upcoming D&D campaigns that are coming to my channel here, hopefully starting next week. We got one group, hopefully starting on Thursday. We got the YouTubers live group, which hopefully tonight we'll figure out what night and time we're going to be playing with that group. But anyways, this is going to be kind of an update to the big change that's happening. So I just posted a video yesterday, and we've already made some major changes in that. We were originally going to use Theater of the Mind and not use any software or anything like that, but I've changed my mind now. We're going to be using Fantasy Grounds. Fantasy Grounds is what we're going to be using for our online campaigns. So what does that mean to you? Doesn't mean much because I have purchased the Ultimate Upgrade Edition license for $150. This will allow me to allow players that have the free demo version to join my game. So I purchased that upgraded license. So all you have to do at home is go to Fantasy Grounds and type in Fantasy Grounds demo, and you can see there is a free demo version of Fantasy Grounds. That is what you need to download and install on your computer at home. And it has a lot of the functionality. It's obviously the free version, so you don't have any modules or anything. It tells you a little bit about it, but it allows you to basically play as a player in a game that the GM has the Ultimate Edition license. So $150. I bought that license so that you guys don't need to buy anything. So don't think, well, I'm just going to buy a license because, it doesn't help me at all. Just download the free edition because if you buy a license or don't have a license, you can still join my game. If you want to buy a license for yourself and play with other people, that's fine, but you don't need to. All you need to do is download the free edition, the demo edition Fantasy Grounds, and you can join my game. Now, with that, I have also gone ahead and purchased the complete 5th edition D&D bundle, another $350. So $500 I spent on this so far. So you guys have got to make me proud. Make sure you're joining, you have your character sheets, everything ready to go. If you're not putting the effort in, I'm wasting my $500 on you. I'll find someone else. So you guys got to make sure, you know, you're doing your end of the bargain. I bought the license, so you don't need to buy one. So, make sure you're keeping up your end of the bargain. Anyways, 5th edition D&D complete bundle gives me all the core books, all the add-on books, the modules, everything with 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons in Fantasy Grounds. It's quite a few different modules, as you can see here, um, and they all run 25 to 30 bucks anyways. And there's like 15 of them or whatever, 350 bucks. You get a discount if you buy the whole package instead of buying them individually. So $350 for that. So you won't need anything because it'll all be on my end of, when I host the game, it'll be everything will be run off of my Fantasy Grounds, and then all you need to do is download the free updated demo version. You'll connect to my game. It'll download the maps. It'll download the stuff that you need. You can even do your character sheets. Speaking of which, I will be putting character sheets in for the different players into Fantasy Grounds now. So if you want to come by and check that out, there's a lot of cool things Fantasy Ground does do. It makes the game actually very easy to manage and play. And I'm going to give you just like a 10-second tutorial on Fantasy Grounds. I will do a more in-depth video later. So don't ask me questions about Fantasy Grounds here. I'll do kind of an overview um, video in another episode. This is just a introduction to what we're going to be doing here for the campaign. I'll be doing live streams of adding characters into Fantasy Grounds. So if you want to come by for that, I've got 4 or 5 of the character sheets all ready to go, so I can just you know, input those in, and you might learn some things about it. There's actually, and even in the free version, you can see there's a manage characters buttons. You can actually try to make your own character if you wanted at home. And then when you join the game, you can actually download it, you know, upload it to my computer, and then we'll have access to it. But don't worry about that. I'll be starting to put in characters into Fantasy Grounds anyways. You can see here there's a Thursday night campaign already been started into the system. And I'll just load it up and give you just like a 10-second tutorial. Again, we're not going to get into details in it, but I just wanted you to see what it is. So some players or people out there might go, Fantasy Grounds, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. So I'm just going to kind of just show you what it is, and then we're going to be able to we'll be able to see some things. So this will be the Dungeon Master screen. Your screen might be slightly different, and you might have different buttons over here on the side. You'll see dice down here. There's let's unlock this. There's going to be a tray here, which we can use to you maneuver things around, and you can resize it, right? And we'll just lock it back into position here. That's fine. I can take a dice and I can throw it in there and roll it, and it'll actually tell me what the dice total was. The players can do the same thing. You would have a player character. Once you create a character, you will see portraits in here. We can download them. You would have a character sheet just like normal. Let's see if I can bring up an NPC that might. Let's see. Yeah, let's look at. Let's look at Xanathar's Guide. No, let's look at. You can see there is a lot of stuff in here now. Let's see. This is a character. There we go. So this would be kind of like the character sheet. It's got all your stats and stuff. There might be there for player characters. There's like 6 tabs over here. One's equipment tab, one's a spell tab, etc., etc. For the DM though, I can actually take and say, okay, this guy's going to make a Constitution save, or let's see, where's his attack? Here it is. He's got a weapon attack plus 12 to hit. I can actually just take that over there. It already knows to add 12 to it. So you can see I rolled a 17 plus 12 is 29. So it automatically calculates everything in. I can load up maps and images. So if we just say go to, let's go to Dungeon Master's Guide. Or let's see, somebody, this map, so I can load up maps or images or whatever, and then just right click and share. Whoever's connected to the game will get that image downloaded to their computer. They'll be able to see everything. Once you get the actual image, you can individually move it however you want. If I move it on my screen, it doesn't have anything to do with your screen. You get the image and then you can move it and adjust it however you want. I can actually take a, let's see if I can show you this. If I bring up, here's like a dungeon. I can actually go in and I can layer it. Oops. Layer it with a fog of war so that no one, maybe the PCs are, well, let's say they're outside over here on the edge. I can say, this is what you see, and I can kind of open it up. And then as the players progress into the hallway, I can kind of open it up a little bit better. As they move down the hallway, you see a set of stairs, blah, blah, blah. So that's pretty cool. It's got a nice feature like that. And creating and editing and adding things to the game is pretty easy, pretty fun. If you like that kind of stuff, which I do. I like doing that kind of stuff and building my own adventures and everything, but I do have access to all of the core adventures that came out with D&D. So I'm thinking about running those as well because number one, everything will already be because I bought it and it'll already be in Fantasy Grounds and ready to go, and I won't have to waste time adding stuff myself. I might, change things or update it or whatever. But yeah, it does a lot of cool things. There is actually a combat log, which I could show you if my mouse would stop acting like a dumb thing. I actually replaced all the batteries in my keyboard and mouse yesterday, every single one of them, and it's still acting up. So it's got to be the fact that there is a sheet of glass on my desk, and the wireless is not able to get back and forth very good, or something is going on. Here's a combat tracker, as you can see here. The players would be in the combat tracker, and the monsters would be in the combat tracker. I can then cycle through them quickly and easily. I can have the monsters target different enemies, find out if they're hostile or make them friendly or whatever. I can also have them target, this guy here is going to target, come on, he's going to target. Yeah, my mouse is acting a little wanky as usual. I can't. Let's see. Can I actually get it to target? Drag onto. Oh, kind of drag it onto. So can we drag it? Yeah, he's going to target this guy, and I'll automatically put that guy's token in there. So if I do an attack, does this guy have an attack? It doesn't look like he has an attack. Let's see. Do we have anyone that actually has an attack? Here's an attack. So if this guy was targeting this guy, right? It automatically puts that character in there, and now if I roll my Scimitar +4 to attack, you should see that so-and-so attacked your Yandra and rolled a 16, added 4. See, it automatically calculates everything. If I end up hitting, I can actually take the the damage dice and add that and throw that in there as well. Automatically, gives me all the statuses and everything like that. I can roll into, have the players roll individually. You can actually pick up a dice and right click if you need to roll 2 of them or 3 of them or 4 of them or 5 of them or whatever. There's a lot of cool things that have Fantasy Ground, but we'll get into that more into another episode. Again, stop by if you can. We're going to be doing some live streams Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, adding characters in and showing you, the interface and showing you how things are done. It's not very hard. Might take a couple sessions for players, but I found, people get into it and you can't hurt anything. No matter what you do on your PC, it's not going to affect me. If your Fantasy Ground closes for whatever reason, my session will still be running. You can reconnect. There's a lot of cool things. The only thing Fantasy Ground doesn't have is voice and video. So make sure you get yourself a camera if you can, because we're going to be using, I think we're going to be using, what's it called? Google Hangouts, where everyone can connect. We can see one another, hear one another, and then I'll be doing the live stream, broadcasting it out. You guys won't need to watch the live stream because you will see on your Fantasy Grounds what I see. So you can have the chat up if you want to keep track of what's going on in the chat. If you have the live stream going on over there, you'll probably see my screen and might see things you shouldn't be seeing. So it would be interesting. Anyways, that is a update. I'm looking forward to trying this out with you guys. And I think it'll be more interesting and more fun, especially for new players. They'll actually be able to see what's going on. And might make things a little easier when we talk about things, and also being more visual. It might help new players or players that haven't played in a while remember how things are done. And then we'll it might take us a session or two to get smooth and running quickly. You can actually if you have certain attacks and such, you can put them down here in the bottom. And then if I'm always using my longsword, when it comes to my turn, all I have to do is, come up here and drag the dice in there, and there's my attack with my scimitar. So you can hotkey a bunch of different abilities, different spells, whatever, and it's all programmed in, ready to go. So I just wanted to update everyone with what's going on, and let me know in the chat what you guys think of the updated changes. We'll talk to you soon, and be sure to watch the live streams coming up this weekend and hopefully the beginning of next week, inputting new characters and showing how Fantasy Grounds runs and all that. Again, all you need to do, download the demo version, free, doesn't cost you a penny. Cost me 500 big ones, doesn't cost you a penny. So make sure if you want to be part of this group, you keep up your end of the bargain and make sure you're prepared and ready to go and you have your character done and you've emailed me and I have your information and all that because I put out the money, so you don't need to buy anything. You don't need to just shell out a cent. All you have to do is be there and be ready to play. That's all you need to do. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the live stream.